What's going on, everybody? Oh my God, my daughter gave me her cough.
Mm.
So yeah, if y'all see or hear me cough, that's why. Blame my 2-year-old. Welcome to another episode of Clock Radio Speakers. I'm your co-host Armand Wake Up. Follow me on no whatever. No, follow the show. Join the Patreon.
There you go.
Patreon.com/CRS podcast. We're in those streets. If you're listening to this for free, subscribe to the YouTube. That is also at CRS Podcast as well. Doc is in the building, of course. What's going on,
What's
man?
going on, man?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good.
My Pilates classes. I'm
Yeah,
going
man.
full steam ahead.
Yeah. Congratulations, man. 100 classes. That's fire. Hey, listen. That's
Yes,
great.
I started middle of April, so I'm really cranking through them now.
You
Like
are.
I do like 4 or 5 classes a week, man.
That's good though. That's
you know
beautiful.
what? Like I used to have back and hip problems, and I don't anymore. Really,
Yeah.
like it just helped. Like I'm not saying it's like magic or whatever, but like
No.
it's one of those things where, because I told this story on a show before, but like I hurt my hip and my back. Like I never had I always had like kind of a weird, like I would always have like weird back problems or whatever for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But then I like really hurt my hip too, and I did physical therapy and all that, and they were just like, okay, cool, now you need to like become more flexible and strengthen your core. And it's like, well, how do I do that? Like, what are you talking about? Strengthen my core? Like, what? We want to do like crunches, sit-ups. Like, is that strength? No, that's not what that means. You know what I mean? And so I had a friend who was like, yeah, I had hip problems too. And, Pilates at least helped me. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. I think what was wild to me is like, if I've said this in the show before, I apologize, but like, how it like rewired kind of like my way of thinking about like working out, right? Because like I'm a perfectionist, and I'm super type A. So like when I go to the gym, it's all about those raw numbers: how much weight, how many reps, and there's this like, my brain will give itself pressure to like always make that number go up every single time, even if it's like a little. If I'm plateauing, okay, well then the next week I got to step it up, right? It's just like, because you feel like you should always be getting better, quote unquote, right? And listen, sometimes your body just doesn't have it. You didn't sleep well, whatever the case is, and you're not 100%. And so what would happen? I would hurt myself. I would like press a little too much. Then you'd like, oh, I like screwed up my shoulder once because I was doing too much on the overhead press, like whatever it was, what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then I would get a setback, and then I don't want to go to the gym. Then you get back and do it. Like it was just a cycle, and for me, because Pilates is, there's like different classes and different levels, but for the most part, it's really like you show up and it's like you have an instructor holding you accountable. So, but like, if on a day you have it more than the others, then you just use a little bit more of the resistance than otherwise. But like, it's not really like that, like there's no like, thank God that they don't have like the resistance springs hooked up to like some computer that tells me, today you did 500% of your, like, no. I don't want to know those numbers. Like the fact that I don't, and that it's really just like, you show up, you do as good as you can. And like the whole thing is, over time, you will just get better. Like that works so much better for my brain, it turns out, because it makes it less of like I'm competing. And it's more like, no, the real competition is like, just go to class.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would like fitness classes. I was like, fitness class, I don't need anybody telling me I can fit.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
So man, I didn't have this on my bingo board as like my 40-year-old midlife crisis, but hey, why not?
No, that's good, because I'm having a lot of back issues as well, and my chiropractor is like, you need to, and when you get older, I think the classes, I think for people like us, it's almost like a sign of defeat.
Yeah.
It's
like I don't need a class.
I don't need a class.
I can figure it out.
But I think one of the things that helps with the class that I'm learning, that I was doing early, like 6:30 a.m. workouts with a bunch of vets, and it was just like we talked about it last episode, like the structure of it, like knowing it's not yes, I still have to have like the energy and desire to go do it,
right.
But like it's there for me, so I can walk in and I don't have to think about what exercise to do with this, and everything's on the board.
Right.
I get it done. They tell me what to do, where to go. I just do it, get it done. And then, I feel the results in my body. So for me, I'm not a big fan of like traditional work. I don't like going to the gym and just like, I hate that. I like to be more active, like actually playing sports and stuff like that. But between you and my mom, because my mom is also doing Pilates and she's raving about it too, and she's had hip and back issues her whole life.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I need to bust that move.
Because the other thing is like crazy is like, because I used to run a lot too, right?
Yeah.
And like, man, when you're able to work out and all of a sudden you're not like just putting that impact on your knees and your back and everything else. I know that sounds like the oldest podcast ever. That's all right. But it's true,
We're getting older. It is what it is.
Yeah, but like, because that's the other thing is like running too, like, push it too much or like whatever, and then feeling a little sore and da da da. I don't know. It works for me, so I'm glad I found it. I think out of the entire like studio I go to, I think there are 6 guys maybe.
Yep.
But they don't care. I don't care. It's fine by me. The only thing that's a pain is, and I give them credit. There are ways to like accommodate this, but like some of these exercises, sometimes I'm like, is this designed for someone who's like 5'2"?
100%. They're not for us. Not at all.
But you know what? It's like, so like the machine they have, it's called the Reformer. Like you actually can like, it's called gearing out. Like basically like if you're tall or have like long legs or whatever, oh no, you can like really quickly like basically make it work better for you, which is good. It took me a little while to discover that, because sometimes I'm just like, I don't think my body's designed to do this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But no, it's been a great experience overall, so I'm super happy.
I love it, man. I'm happy for you. That's dope.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
Aside from that, I don't know, taking a trip out to Disneyland this weekend.
Yeah. The happiest place on that's Disneyland, right? Happiest place on earth, or is that Disney World?
Yeah,
sure. And tomato, woozle wazzle. Yeah, man. Yeah. Disney. I've done Disney. So is this technically like a Christmas thing?
Yeah. It'll be all done for. Yeah, they have everything out for Christmas and everything. So yeah.
I've done Christmas at Disneyland. Well, I did Christmas at Disney World once in like 06. And then I did Florida for that's Christmas. Disney, and that's when I proposed to my wife there. But I haven't been to Disneyland, and I went when I was like 6. I was a baby, you know what I'm saying? So I'm that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
It's gonna be packed though.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Just make sure you got some good. Yeah, just make sure you got some good shoes.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, Disneyland is what Ultra Boosts were made for. 100%.
100%. Good Ultra Boosts, a good New Balance, something. Just you've always been in that bag. So yeah, shoes aren't a problem for you.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. You'll be straight. Yeah, that's what's up.
All right. So now that I'm talking about old man stuff, we got some old man rappers to talk about today, right?
Listen. Quite possibly, in my eyes, let's
do it right now.
But debatably, the greatest hip hop group of all time.
It's the first line of my notes, actually.
Okay, good. All right, we're on the same page.
We are on the same page.
So
we're talking about Outkast.
Talking about Outkast. So our conversation regarding Andre 3000 was really interesting, and I think what it made me do. So I'm glad when you text the idea like I was already in this bag. I was just like, it made me go back and listen to Outkast, and just be like, hey, yo, they got joints. 4 classic albums, back to back. Actually, you talk about
they really go deep. And then they, even I'm assuming you don't think Speakerboxxx Love Below is a classic.
The Love Below is a classic. I'm sorry, I forgot about Stankonia. Stankonia is not a classic. That album is not good.
Time out.
Yeah, that
album's amazing.
We fought about
amazing.
No,
we fought about it before.
No, Love Below is a classic to me.
It's just like to me it's so fascinating of an album, because it's like it's a hint of a glimpse at like what might have been, and Andre was just like, nah, he just didn't want it.
Yeah, I'm good.
he decided he was good. It made me go back and sort of try to piece together like, okay, so why? Like, okay, so Outkast kind of broke up, but like, I guess I did. I totally forgot that, you know, Jive Records. So like the infamously like the sort of the transition from Arista to Jive screwed up the Clips, right? It also screwed up Big Boy, which I guess I didn't realize because Outkast was signed when they were signed to LaFace, you know, Arista, and then that became Jive. And because that first album of his, was it Sir Lucius Left Foot?
Yep.
That was all recorded like 07 to 09, and then they kind of like sat on it. They didn't want to let him put it out. Like,
didn't it leak?
Fight for. Not really. Some songs leaked. Like,
okay.
They let him shop the fully finished album around. Def Jam picked it up, put it out, but they wouldn't clear the 2 records with Andre on it because they said, nope, that means it's Outkast. And Outkast is signed to Jive, and we're not letting you. Like,
wow.
So
That's
like,
stupid.
you know, Royal Flush was nominated for a Grammy off of a leak.
Crazy.
You know,
crazy. I did not know that.
It was leaked out. Right?
I remember when it leaked. I definitely remember that.
It was leaked, and it got nominated for a Grammy because it said Andre and Big Boy featuring Raekwon in 2008. So people were like, yeah,
we need that. Yep.
You know, there was another record which I had never heard of until today. I found it in my research or whatever, but it was another leak. It was Andre and Big Boy over a 2010 era like Boy Wonder record, which is fascinating.
Really?
It's all right. The beat's not that good. But you know, Jai was also like, nope, no. That's not Andre featuring. I'm sorry, that's not Big Boy featuring Andre. That's an Outkast song.
Outkast.
So,
wow.
You know, because they wanted their Outkast. They were like, where's my Outkast album?
And Dre was like, nah.
Dre's like, nah. Wow. But like, it's, you know, yeah, man. It's I was happy to go back and listen to all this as well. We didn't really talk about parameters for this, but like, we're not counting any of the like. So like, I took this as if it's Outkast, like with the exception of records from Speakerboxx Love Below, because that's still labeled an Outkast album. Like, I don't have like Andre guest appearances from like 2010 on here. Okay.
No. I don't have any of the Big Boy solo albums.
Right.
I don't have. Yeah. No. I've got first 5 albums.
Yep. I've got the first 5 albums.
Yep. Southern Playalistic
and some. There's a couple. I don't know, guest appearances I'm thinking about.
Okay.
This was a hard list to make because on the one hand, you could make this really easy just from their singles alone.
Absolutely.
You could come up with an unimpeachable 15 that nobody would blink an eye at.
Absolutely.
But then you'd be leaving off a ton of records. A ton of records.
Yeah. And for me, I made it a point to not do a lot of the obvious records.
I figured
it started with The Way You Move. I was like, that's no way this is going on my list. And then I was like, how many other Outkast records do I need that are like the obvious layup? But I think those came down to literally if I sat down with someone, would I play them, like with my son, would I play them these records?
If you're introducing Outkast to your son, what are you playing?
And I'm not playing him The Way You Move. I'm not. But I've
How
always
do you feel
hated
that song has aged? Yeah, I was gonna say we might have to talk about that song at some point.
Yeah, I think it's a wedding classic. Like, I'm not mad that it's still around. I'm not mad at all. It's a very upbeat, happy. Like it's produced really well. Like it's a great song in terms of how it's created, like everything. I just hate it. I've never liked that song. I hate that song.
White people love that song.
Y'all do love that song. You do.
We love it.
Y'all love that song. Did they play it at your wedding?
I don't even remember, man.
Oh, okay. All right, got you.
I had you know me. I gave my DJ a lot of things to play.
Sure you did.
And then but then when you're at your wedding, you're getting pulled in 8 million directions.
Yeah. See, my best friend get pulled at his wedding was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. Okay.
All right. So You said you think Outkast is the greatest hip hop group of all time.
Absolutely.
I mean, from what? So like you from 94. Well, so Players Ball is what, end of 93?
Yeah, because it's on the
So it's a
it's on
decade.
the it's on the LaFace Christmas album.
It's effectively a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Of just like increasing, like their career is so fascinating to me because like it doesn't follow the normal pattern at all.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Like as they got weirder, they got more popular.
Mm-hmm.
And weirder, I mean in a good way, right? As they took control of their own sound, as they produced their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they, you know, they did Idlewild, but we all knew that wasn't like a real full Outkast album necessarily.
That was really like a precursor to those Big Boy albums, for sure.
Really, right.
Yeah.
I mean, because he also did what was the Got That Perp, like volume 2, like those
Got That Perp, because that's with a Kryptonite.
Right. Yeah, Big Boy has more records that without Andre than you think he does.
Absolutely.
He also had a nice little guest run.
He did
in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
In the Wind.
That's right.
85.
Yep.
You know, like he had a little bit of a run.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, but like most artists, they don't get more popular as they get sort of more experimental. Like there's typically the like, oh, they might be a little underground, then they go a little pop, and then they kind of like get more esoteric and more this and that. But like the popularity kind of fades away, and that's not what happened here. Like those first 5 albums, yeah, like these first 5 albums, in terms of like their impact on not just hip hop, but like the larger pop culture, it is a straight line up. Effectively, it's
Absolutely.
incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think Idlewild is probably the first time where people are like, nah.
It was we all knew immediately.
Yeah, like nah,
it just wasn't the same.
But literally back to, despite how you feel about Stankonia, it has one or two of the group's biggest records. One for sure.
Oh, there's
2.
3. I mean, there's 3 gigantic records. Off Stankonia.
What's the third?
Well, there's B.O.B., Miss Jackson, and So Fresh, So Clean.
So B.O.B. is a gigantic record?
We're going to talk about B.O.B. today.
We are. Oh, we absolutely are.
Okay.
We absolutely
are. You're right. Gigantic is the wrong word. Miss Jackson's way more popular, obviously.
Miss Jackson and So Fresh, So Clean, I think, are gigantic records. I don't think B.O.B. is a gigantic record. You would have to define what gigantic means. I think gigantic, it's a different kind of gigantic.
I love how we're naming off these records. We got to jump into this list. So before we do, Armand, if someone's never heard of Definitive 15, what's the general concept?
So a Definitive 15 is, say you have someone who has never heard of an artist, a year, a record label, a sound, a producer. What 15 records would you play for them to introduce them to that? So it could be your favorites. It could be their most successful. However you want to craft that, that's what you do. I think Doc and I do a little bit of both. So these are usually pretty fun. This is really interesting because sometimes that 15 is a stretch. It's like a versus. Like you get to like 10, those last 5 are kind of hard. This one is like,
it's an embarrassment of riches.
You could easily do 25.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have 30 total sitting on this list.
Yeah, you can easily
not
do
a single one is a stretch. And I left records off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How I feel about the way you move, like technically by definition,
well, okay.
Should be, but we'll get there.
I mean, all right. Yeah, we'll get there. We could start there if you want. I mean,
is it on your list?
It is on my list.
All right, go ahead.
But I don't want to start there. That's a
boom, boom.
I don't want to start there.
Okay, you go ahead and start, please.
Okay. Let me ask you this: how many records you got off Southern Playalistic?
1, 2, 2.
I mean, I feel like if you're telling the story, it's weird because like if I'm picking my 15 favorite records, I don't think I'm picking anything off that album, if I'm being honest.
Okay, for sure.
But I think it's difficult to tell the story of Outkast without starting with Players Ball, right? So for me, this is on my list.
Man, let me hit that, man. There we go. You gonna pad?
Man, the scene was so thick. Low rise, 77 civilians, L dog, nothing but them relaxes. All the players, all the hustlers. I'm talking about a black man heaven here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's beginning to look a lot like wood. Follow my every step. Take notes on how I crept. I'm about to go in depth. This is the way I creep my season. Here's my ghetto rep. I kept, to say the least, no, it can't cease. So I begin to piece my 2 and 2 together. Got no snowy wet.
I got something too.
Boy, everybody was rapping like Das Effects, huh?
Coming off of that when you rap like this, yeah. Listen,
Andre, Jay-Z, it's fine.
Listen. Oh, we're recording this on December 4th, and we've said nothing about Jay-Z.
He's fine. He doesn't. Listen,
we've talked about him at length. It's good.
The day he becomes a Patreon subscriber is the day I will say happy birthday to Jay-Z.
For sure. Gets a little weird on Jay-Z's birthday. Gets a little weird.
It's good to have a reminder of who the absolute Jay-Z stands are in this universe.
Yeah. And I love Jay, but come on, y'all. Jay-Z
fans were defining parasocial relationships long before the internet knew that word.
All right, so Outkast. Woo! Listen, 1,001 million and 1 trillion% on my list. I remember seeing this video for the first time on UMTV Raps and saying, "What is this?" It's unlike anything I had ever heard. I wasn't a big UGK guy, but like the instrumentation and like the blues, the funk, like those aspects of music incorporated into hip hop. First of all, this is a Christmas song,
right?
So like this is like the hardest Christmas song like ever in life. Okay, shout out to Santa Claus Comes to the Ghetto, but this song is super crazy, and I hate Christmas music.
Oh man, we're not going to do definitive 15 Christmas records.
No man, my wife has been playing Christmas music since April. I hate Christmas music. I got some joints, the New Edition Christmas album. The LaFace Family Christmas got some joints on there, like, but I'm good. But yeah, this song is incredible. Listen, man, Andre in the Atlanta Braves jersey with the long sleeve tee underneath. What culture, man? And then don't forget I want to play the remix. I got a beat that I've been sitting on for years with that sample. God willing, it'll be out next year. Gorgeous. I love that song. Love it.
Now I'm looking up that sample.
Nah, it's not a sample.
No, you said, I thought you said uses the same sample.
I mean, like it samples those pianos on there.
Yeah, Players Ball Remix does have 2 samples on it. But
it does? I don't think it knows a sample. Okay, well, shout out to Sandman. Sandman did it for me, so it's cool. Absolutely 100% on my list. Without question.
Okay.
Damn, I wanted to play this music. Why didn't we do a freaking test before the show? All right, it's fine. It's my fault. It's my fault, y'all.
It's all good, man. What do you got? Where are you going? Where are you starting?
When I think of Outkast, where am I going to go? You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'll go in a completely different direction. I'll just start off out the gate.
Yeah.
This song was unlike anything that I had ever heard in my life the first time I heard it. So much so, I didn't like it.
If you're going to take the song away from the song I should have played to start with, I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Why did I start with Players Ball?
It's cool. No, you're telling the story. You're telling the story.
You want to get someone hooked on Outkast, there's one record you start with.
Listen, the first time I heard Bombs Over Baghdad, I was confused. Like, what do I do with this? And I didn't like it. And some of these Outkast records, a lot of these Outkast records, really the question you have to ask is what Outkast records age poorly. The songs that you don't like, because there's another one that's like teetering on my list that I felt the same way about, but like I love it now. Bombs Over Baghdad, time has been incredibly kind to this song. This song is amazing. It's incredible. Has to be on the list.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Islam national underground thunderbounds when I stop the ground like a million elephants and silverback orangutans. You can't stop a train. Who wants some? Don't come unprepared. I'll be there, but when I leave there, better be a household name. Weatherman telling us it ain't gonna rain, so now we sitting in a drop top soaking wet. In the silk suit, try not to sweat. Hit somersault, switch out the net, but this be the year that we won't forget. 1999. I don't need anything gold. You what you wanna be? Long as you know consequences are given for living the fences. Too hot to jump in jail. Too low to dig. I might just touch hell. Hot. Get a life now they on sale. Then I might catch you a spell. Look at what came in the mail. A fearless arm and hammer. So roll grill and a baby mama. Black Cadillac and a...
Listen, I could get stuck and play this whole record. They don't get enough credit for their production, man.
And a lot of that production, a lot of the early stuff is Organized Noise.
It was.
But as their career progressed, a lot of that production is them.
I mean, off of Stankonia, Organized Noise does So Fresh, So Clean, Spaghetti Junction, We Love These Hoes, and Gangsta-ish. Everything else on that album is Earth Tone 3, which is Outkast and their DJ, Mr. DJ.
Mr. DJ.
That's it.
Shout out to Mr. DJ.
Including Bombs Over Baghdad, which is just an incredible record.
Crazy.
Like, there's so much happening there. It's like 155 or 156 BPMs, which is insane. It's like, what if we took hip hop, but you know what? We're gonna actually have a lot of drum and bass influence on this drum pattern. What if we're gonna have some guitar? A lot of guitars on Stankonia, actually. Oh, by the way, we got two guys at the absolute peak of their powers, rapping circles around a beat that a lot of rappers wouldn't know what to do with.
Wouldn't touch. You don't hear rappers rapping even to this day. You know, like, yo,
then
throw that
what?
B.O.B. on.
I know we had we've done a harmonica solo before. Let's get the choir breakdown this time. And it's just hooks on hooks on hooks. Has anybody ever done a good sample of that Power Music Electric Revival part at the end? Yeah. That's almost too hard to take, man. You can't mess with that. That's perfect. That song is perfect. If I'm like, that is the record. If I'm like, I've thought about it too, because like, I've got a 16-year-old nephew, and he's he listens to some hip hop, and I just want to be like, have you heard this record? Like, I just want to like, young man, listen to this record.
Yeah, crazy.
It's incredible.
Gotta watch the video too. Gotta watch the video with it. Yeah, remember when videos were creative? I do.
They had big budgets. They were designed to catch your attention on MTV, trying to, as you're flipping through the channels.
Absolutely. Yep. All right.
Oh, man.
Good. That's my one.
Bombs Over Baghdad's incredible. I should have said that one. That's all right.
It's all right. Go ahead.
It's okay. So it's funny because we're gonna be playing a lot of singles. Because Outkast. So let me talk about just in generally Outkast singles, which I feel like for a lot of rappers from the 90s, yeah, you've got the hit singles, you're gonna play their singles, but like there was always kind of like an acknowledgement, like, yeah, that was the single where they tried to do that and it didn't work. Jay's got them. Nas has them. Busta's got them. Even DMX has them. They all have got them, right? Outkast doesn't really. You might disagree. For the most part, like, I don't feel like their singles were like, oh, that's where they tried to make the chick record.
Oh, no. I mean, their chick record, which should be on our list, is like it's a non-traditional quote unquote chick record. It's an
incredible. I mean, that's the record that,
yeah, for sure.
But like, I feel like you could just easily do, like we said, you could just do singles and you'd be fine. We're not going to just do singles, but it's hard to avoid singles. And I want to play a record that, like, so it's good, in a sense it's good I started with with Players Ball because I feel like, yep, Southern Playalistic was well regarded in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But this record right here was different. They were like, we are not, there's no sophomore slump. We are not going to be who you think we are. We're going to do things a little bit differently here.
Had to.
One for the money, yes sir, two for the show. A couple of years ago, on Headland and the low, what's the starter? Something good, where me and my nigga rode the martyr through the hood, just trying to find that hook up. Now every day we looked up at the ceiling, watching ceiling fans go round, trying to catch that feeling off instrumental. Had my pencil and plus my paper, we caught the 86 flies on your headed to Decatur, writing rhymes, trying to find our spot off in that light off in that spot. Knowing that we can rock, doing the hole in the wall club. This shit here must stop. Like freeze, we making the crowd move, but we not making no G's, and that's a no. A one.
So I don't know if Outkast gets enough credit for how good their hooks are.
Listen, yes sir.
For a group that is commercially successful, yeah, but also critically acclaimed. As I was like the past couple of days, I've been walking the dog, doing dishes, whatever, listening to Outkast. It sticks out so much because hooks are just a lost art in hip hop. We've just all decided we don't do hooks really.
For sure.
For the most part. Some people will still do hooks occasionally, but like, and I think that there is some freedom with that has come with that, right? Like you and I have certainly benefited in some ways. Like, oh, this song doesn't need a hook, which I appreciate. Like not every song needs a hook.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But Outkast has incredible hooks. Incredible hooks.
Yes, they do. And Elevators is an incredible hook.
Elevators is an incredible hook.
Actually, so incredible. I think if we did a definitive 15 hooks.
Oh. But listen, all right. Even just off what we played already, right? Bombs Over Baghdad.
Players
great
Ball.
hook.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at my list here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All these. I'm looking at my list.
Records.
All have
all these
excellent
records.
hooks. Excellent hooks.
Excellent hooks. Yeah.
Yep. Ooh.
Elevators was incredible. I feel like this. I don't know if it's just because I was at an age where I was more into hip hop than I was in '94, but like this is when I was first really like, oh, Outkast. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. It was.
Yeah.
The
song, lots of play, especially on BET. I don't think
I feel like MTV ran this into the ground. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the summer '96. So all you heard that summer was "If I Ruled the World" and "Elevators." Like, think about those two records and those being like pop records. It's crazy.
And this record was produced by Outkast.
Yeah. Great record.
Great record. Incredible record.
Great record. Absolutely.
And
another. Go ahead.
Just a leap over the sound and everything. Like the aesthetics of the album, like everything was just like they were like, no, we are going to be different.
And another good remix too.
Remix is okay.
Remix is dope. Okay. Where do I go from here? Ooh. I don't want to do we ease into this or do I just slap people around?
We've been doing pretty gentle so far. No surprises.
No surprises. I mean, when I go into there's two records that I want to play. I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay.
This actually might be one of the last songs that they're both on together. This might be the last No, not the last single. No, this might be the last single that they're on together. I'm sure you'll prove me wrong on that.
No, it's all right.
Video was fire. So we're in the Love Below right now.
Oh.
And you want to talk about a leap? They start when Players Ball. They start with like I said, funk and blues, and like more southern records. And now you're like getting into like Prince, 50s doo-wop, and Roses is just one of those like infectious records that's just so good. Iconic verses, iconic hook. The video is great, and it's just like, what are you supposed to do with this? What are you supposed to do with this? Who else would do this except for Outkast?
I mean, listen. There's still one more single because they're both on Ghetto Music, right?
Yeah, Andre doesn't rap on Ghetto Music.
Right.
He's just on the hook.
Produces it.
Yeah, and he's just on the hook.
He's on the hook, right. So yeah, we didn't know it, but Roses was really that was it. That was the last peak of them together.
Mm-hmm.
What else can you say? It's on my list. It's an incredible record. The video is fine. It's of the era.
Listen, you want to talk about last episode? You talked about fun missing in hip hop. It's a fun video.
It's a fun song.
It's a fun song.
Even though it's like, if you actually listen to the content, you're like, wait, what's going on?
Hey man,
they were good. I'll tell you what, they were good at that. Like you see the video, like they were just really good at like the video and the hook could get anybody hooked in. But then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, whoa, what is happening here? Like there's another record that I'm debating if it's on my list. It's close. It's a classic single of theirs, but they just have so many. I don't know if it's gonna make my list. Where the difference, like if you just listen to the hook and see the video, you're like, oh, and then you listen to Andre's verse and you're like, oh my God, what's happening here?
Yeah.
So they were really good at that. And Roses is incredible.
Absolutely.
Again, that's an amazing hook.
Yep. Great hook.
Yeah.
Great hook. Yep. Man. All right. Where you at?
I didn't think you were going there. I thought you were going to pick another record. Where am I going?
Into a ditch. Okay. Just playing.
Do I want to play? I'm going to play, you know what? We're going to take a detour from the singles for a second.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to talk about, so after the success of the first two albums, Aquemini is seen by many as their peak, maybe?
Their best album.
And, you know, honestly, I don't even know. It's hard to even intro this because, like, I think, like, you just kind of need to hear it to understand, like, what's happening here. But, like, outside of the singles, to me, there's there's a lot of great and classic songs on Aquemini, but like if you just want to think of like a mission statement for like where Outkast was at this point in their careers, I can't think of anything better than Return of the G.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes like this right here. It's like, niggas always be hollering peace, you know what I'm saying? Peace, my brother, peace this, peace that, you know what I'm saying? But every time I try to get a piece of mind, niggas try to get a piece of mind. So I gotta grab my piece. It's the return of the gangsta. Them niggas that's on that blow that run up in your crib, which contains your lady and an 8-month-old child to raise. Plus you true blue about this music, but they do not want to hear because they'd rather be bouncing and shooting and killing and bouncing and shit. Get down. Return of the gangsta. Them niggas that think y'all soft and say y'all be gospel rapping, but they be steady clapping when you talk about bitches and switches and hoes and clothes and weed. Let's talk about time traveling, rhyme javelin, something mind unraveling. Get down. Return of the gangsta. Them niggas that got them kids, they got enough to buy an ounce, but not enough to bounce them kids to the do it to the park, so they grow up in the dark, never seeing like, so they end up being like your sorry ass, robbing niggas.
No.
Man, that's one
It's
of those.
like, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go
No.
No, I was gonna say that like that record is like if you listen to that record front like all the way through, it's like, yeah, you can be in there for the single, maybe you're just a casual fan, you're for the singles. Like that song is like the mission statement for them for like where they're at and where they're going, and they're just like leaving everybody else behind.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. On my list, this was a late edition and it knocked out one of my favorite Outkast songs.
I still have two spots.
And I might move that. There's a couple of, because the problem is because Aquemini is my favorite album.
Oh, you've got a lot of records from Aquemini.
And I'm trying to like,
sure.
And it's like, is it definitive or do I just love it?
Listen, that's how I feel about some of these records off Love Below.
For sure. Yeah,
There's some records on Love Below where I'm like, can I sneak that in? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I did good with Love Below. I think I got the right Love Below records on mine. But
right.
I'm going to play. Oh damn, which one? Man. Okay. I'm not gonna go there right now. I'ma chill.
Okay.
Chill. What do I want to play? Oh my God, so many records, so many freaking records. Actually, now I'm looking through this. I'm like, yo, these are, most of these records are, are Aquemini with a sprinkle of everything else. Dang. Okay. All right. I'll pick the one that I know is going to go on here that I don't think is going to be on your list.
Oh, all right. I'm listening.
This is from Aquemini. We'll stay in Aquemini.
Sure.
To me, this is like top 3 Outkast.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
I remember listening to this album. I've told y'all the story of this album with Jay-Z and The Source and this getting 5 mics and Volume 2 getting 4.5 and, you know, begging my dad to turn around and go back to the store and get me Outkast, and he did. And I'm forever grateful for that. And I as classic as Volume 2 is, as definitive as Volume 2 is for Jay, I ran Aquemini into the ground immediately. And this song just like it's one of the first songs that really just like touched my soul. And it made me like sit and be present and be thoughtful. And this song is gorgeous. Liberation had to be on my list.
There's a fine line to it, baby. I'm on it. Yeah. There's a fine line between love and hate. You see, can't wait too late, but baby, I'm on it. in love and hate, you see. Came way too late, but baby, I'm on it. Can't worry about what a nigga think to see. That's liberation, and baby, I want it. Can't worry about what another nigga think. Now that's liberation, and baby, I want it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. How many times I sit back and contemplate.
Not on my list.
Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be.
But we should talk about CeeLo, Goody Mob,
Yes, sir.
Dungeon Family in general.
Yes, sir.
Because they're intertwined in all this, right? Like this emergence, you know, sort of spearheaded by Organized Noise and their production.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to the point where, like you would imagine for any successful group, then you start getting like, oh, you know, they got Killer Mike and they got like all these other people who are like, they're bringing along for the ride.
Absolutely.
You know, we had a Dungeon Family album, which
Even in Darkness.
pretty disappointing. There's a couple records on there I really like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there is a record that is to me kind of the quintessential, like this is the Dungeon Family record that I feel belongs on this list.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
A little bit of an intro on the album, but we'll get there. Listen, if you have a single, don't have this just be before, but you know.
Ain't no super heavyweight bouts with feudal everyday doubts. They strive so hard to be stars, but I'm respected, son. Measure your songs and bars, but mine and measure ton. Got my spine invested in this. I do my best to win this, cause treachery is endless. I break before I bend. Know that without King Kong to pummel. You never hear quite the same rumble in your lame jungle.
Remember in one crew been so diverse, trying to outdo the last verse that I birthed, that is my curse. Your knight in rhyming armor, sentimentalist slay all grand dragons. Grab the sharpest number 2, then I'm stabbing. Somebody let me hold a number 2 pencil cause they test. Somebody let me hold a number 2 pencil cause they test.
Listen. It's a great video.
It is a great video.
But I picked it because that's when you know a group is getting to like the peak of their power, when they're like, now they can start bringing other people along for the ride, you know. And that song to me is like, I think what we were all kind of looking for a little bit on that Dungeon Family. We were like, where's that like Watch for the Hook?
Where's Watch for the
level
Hook?
Record on that Dungeon Family project?
Yeah, agreed.
It wasn't really on that vibe.
Agreed. Not on my list. But
that's okay.
1000% definitive. That record is crazy. That
beat's kind of ahead of its time too.
Absolutely. So much so, like, and that's kind of, as a rapper, I'll say that I respect that each person on that song approached it differently.
They really did. I cut it off pretty quick, but yeah, absolutely.
Also, it feels like some of them didn't know what to do with it. Yeah, that would be my. But who did that? Is that Organized Noise?
I'm looking. Yeah, that is Organized Noise.
Yeah, man, that record is crazy. Watch for the Hook is nuts.
Watch for the Hook is crazy.
Watch for the Hook is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. I will stay in Aquemini.
Okay.
And I'll play the other record that is obvious because I'm still arguing over these other ones in my head. Again, how long is this record? 8 minutes? 9 minutes? Something like that?
If it's the record I'm thinking of, it's 7 minutes and 7 seconds, I think.
Okay, there you go.
might be thinking of a different record.
No. I think we're thinking of the same record.
Yeah.
Not only is this record definitive, it is iconic.
It is iconic.
There's no rapping on here whatsoever.
Right.
No rapping. But the horn section, even just everything, Sleepy Brown, the spoken word style, I guess what is probably the hook, right? I mean, the hook
is the hook.
The horn is the hook, but what would you call Damn James? Is that the bridge?
It's like a refrain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I don't have to intro this song any more than I already have, man. Definitive. Spodioti Dopalicious. Please.
This record is, as the kids might say, it's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
I'm glad you picked it. It was in consideration for my last spot. It's not my favorite. Like, it's iconic.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
It's iconic.
Okay.
But like, it's 7 minutes and there's no rap. So like growing up, I was like,
okay. I got you. See, you didn't really live with that song.
I didn't. No.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, man.
Which is, I know it's sacrilegious to say. Everybody loves Spotiotti.
Yeah. It's a great record. Amazing record.
All right. I don't know how you've been talking about like which records you're gonna pick off of Aquemini, and I'm just like, you're leaving the obvious ones just sitting out there.
I am, and that's fine.
All right. Well, if we're talking about Aquemini, we're talking about Rosa Parks.
Absolutely.
Everybody move to the back of the boards. Do you want to bump and slump it boards? We the type of people make the club get full. Push that boards. Everybody move to the back of the boards. Do you want to bump and slump it boards? We the type of people make the club get full.
Many a day has passed, the night has gone by, but still I find the time to put that bomb off in your eye. Total chaos, for these playoffs, thought we was absent. We're taking another route to represent the Dungeon family like Grey Day. Me and my nigga.
Listen,
Yep.
iconic record, iconic video, iconic breakdown at the end. Rosa Parks felt some kind of way about it, sued him. It was a whole thing.
Did she win? She got a settlement out of that, right?
Yeah, I forget what the settlement was like. They had to like do some sort of like, I don't know, like
charity work or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely what happens.
That's just a generational gap thing. I don't think they understood. I don't think she understood what they were trying to do.
She didn't. She just rappers that made a song about you. And she's like, absolutely not. And again, another
now people would be mad at them for not asking her permission first.
Absolutely. But then there was an era in hip hop, maybe like 10 years ago, where not even 10, maybe like 8 years ago, where like song titles were people's names.
Sure.
Yeah. Like Black Magic should have been called David Copperfield. Again, another jump. First singles are a leap. So to go from Players Ball, which is like mid-tempo, and then go to Elevators, which is really slow and kind of plotting, and underground. And now it's like, okay, let's make them dance. We haven't made them dance out the gate. And again, the harmonica, just like more gospel roots, like just crazy. Just let's try this and see if it works. And it works. Absolutely 100%, 1000% on my list. Had to be.
Has to be.